Yo, what is up, NBA fans? It's your boy Mike here. It has been a very exciting start to the NBA season, alright? Opening night, we got an incredible blowout by the Brooklyn Nets, who are looking very legit and kind of scaring me, not gonna lie. And then we got an excellent game between the Clippers and the Lakers, where Paul George, despite attempting to pass to a referee at some point in the game, actually looked really good. Too bad he's never gonna play like that in the playoffs, but that's neither here nor there, alright? And NBA fans are going nuts, alright? People are already saying the Clippers are better than the Lakers. They're already saying that the Nets are going to be like the best team in the league. And if you are one of those NBA fans, can I just ask you something? Can you please just, chill the heck out? Please? Just a little bit? It's one game, guys. It's one game, okay? It does not mean much of anything. So chillax. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, there is still one massive question hanging over the NBA this season that has not been answered, and everyone and their mother has made a dozen videos about it already, but I'm gonna make another one here today because what the heck, I feel like it, alright? What is going to happen to freaking James Harden? Is he even going to be traded this year? Because if you had asked me a month ago, I would have said 100% certainty that James Harden was getting traded this season, alright? In fact, I would have bet you almost anything that he was getting traded before the season started. My personal guess was that he was going to the Heat. I really thought they were going to cave in. They were going to give in Hero and Robinson and whatever else the frickin' Rockets wanted, and that was going to be that, alright? They were going to have an amazing big three. They were going to be a massive pain in the Sixers' ass this year. But that hasn't happened. Instead, James Harden, for a dude who seems to want to be traded so very badly, he really is doing everything in his power to hurt his own value and make teams not want him. Alright, there were some rumors out there earlier today. I was seeing stuff about him potentially getting traded to the Nuggets for Michael Porter Jr., and then 5 minutes later, you see a report that James Harden is not going to make the first game of the season because he's under COVID protocol. Guess what? Guess what he was fucking doing? He was at the strip club. Again! What is this man doing? The stuff around James Harden, this is like the Anthony Davis drama of 2019 on steroids. This man's at the club, he's partying, he's probably not wearing a mask because he's a big dumbass baby. And, the Rockets are obviously trying to trade him, and this dude just keeps making it worse. Then he goes to practice one time, he throws the basketball at a rookie's head, and then yells at somebody on the bench because supposedly he was someone was standing by the bench and distracted James Harden, so he missed a layup, and that's why he had his big temper tantrum in practice. What? This dude is just a big frickin' baby, and I hate to break it to you, James Harden, but nobody wants a big frickin' baby on their team, okay? Nobody wants you there. Anthony Davis was able to get away with it because he was younger, alright? And also everyone knew he specifically wanted to go to the Lakers, so it was easier because the Lakers wanted to trade for him. James Harden is a different situation because he's an older player, he's getting ready to exit his prime, he's been known for being a chemistry problem for years, and he also doesn't have, there's not one specific team desperately trying to get him, okay? The Lakers desperately wanted AD. They made that clear before Anthony Davis started having his little baby tantrums. James Harden is just throwing tantrums and hurting his value, but nobody wants him. So the Rockets don't want to trade him for low value. It's just this circle of idiocracy, okay? I'm probably using that word wrong, but you know what I'm saying. James Harden's a dumbass, alright? Now, to look more at the Michael Porter Jr. trade, because I think at this point, it's pretty clear James Harden is getting traded to the West if he gets traded this season, alright, at least before the deadline. Because you look at the East, the Heat aren't trading for him, they turned down, they told him they weren't giving Hero. The Sixers obviously aren't trading for him, no matter how much NBA media keeps harping on it. It's not going to happen, guys, okay? Morey, I don't know how many times Morey and Doc have to say it's not happening. You're never going to believe them, so just trust me, it's not going to frickin' happen. James Harden's not coming to the Sixers. The Rockets turned down the Nets offer, and now the Nets are looking really good. I don't think they're going to be in a hurry to trade for him. If they end up having issues during the season, I could very much see those trade talks opening back up again. But as of right now, I don't think he's going to the Nets. And like I've said before, the Bucks just can't afford him. They just don't have the assets. So he's got to be going to the West if he gets traded. So the main team right now is the Nuggets. The Nuggets offered some kind of deal that was something like Bol and Michael Porter Jr. for James Harden is the trade talk. In terms of value, that's not bad, especially since you have to throw in Gary Harris in there for salary matching reasons. That's not a bad haul for James Harden. We really have no idea what Michael Porter Jr. is going to be, but I think he would be a solid player for the Rockets. You have to throw in somebody else, I believe, to make the contracts work. I would assume JaMychal Green, just because it's him or Monte Morris. Because James Harden's making like $40 million this year. It takes a lot of freaking money for him. I would assume the Nuggets would prefer to give up JaMychal Green than Monte Morris. So let's say the deal looks something like Bol, Michael Porter Jr., Gary Harris, JaMychal Green, and like a first-round pick for the future for James Harden. That's a pretty good deal for both teams. I would have said that's not a good enough haul for the Rockets as of like a month ago, but considering James Harden keeps shooting this trade in the foot by being a moron, that's actually not a bad deal for him considering what the Rockets are currently going to get for him. The Nuggets, on the other hand, they lose some depth, they lose some young talent, but they immediately become, in my opinion, the best offensive team in the league. Okay, the playmaking of Harden and Jokic, the scoring ability of Harden and Murray, and also Jokic to some extent, that is a ridiculously good offensive trio. That is the best offensive trio, and maybe the best trio, period, in basketball right now. And they're an amazing offensive team. I don't see any way they're not like a top 3 offense in the league. Their defense still sucks, but anyway, their defense still sucks, alright? But their offense would be incredible, and it would be a very fun team to watch. The question with the Nuggets is, though, do they really want to do that? Do they really want to give up some of their young assets for a dude who might leave in a year? A dude who clearly is a locker room disaster at the moment? Like, I don't know if they do. Personally, if I'm the Nuggets, I'm probably not doing that just because James Harden has been so bad. And even if you get him, it's not like a guaranteed title just because the league is so stacked right now. May as well just wait it out. Their team's still super young. They're in no rush. The only team who I keep coming back to, and people keep shutting me down, but I'm going to keep coming back to them again, the Golden State Warriors might trade for James Harden. I really think that is one of the best destinations. It seems to me like Curry and Harden seem to get along pretty well. They seem to have mutual respect for each other, alright? They don't know how Klay Thompson's going to come back. Maybe they trade him. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're able to get a deal done that's like, I believe they have a Timberwolves pick for next year that's going to be really good. So they give them like the Timberwolves pick and a future pick and like James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins and whatever else need to match salary cap or to match salaries. You know what I'm trying to say. Maybe they do that. I really have no idea. Right now, I feel like the Warriors are the only team that makes a lot of sense because they know their title window is going to close. Curry, Klay, Draymond, they're all in their 30s. All right, they're all getting ready to exit their primes. This year or next year might be it, and who knows if Klay's going to come back healthy. Maybe they do trade him for Harden. I feel like they wouldn't do Klay dirty like that, but, I mean, you look at, many people say the best GM in the league is Danny Ainge. He had no issue doing Isaiah Thomas dirty, so maybe the Warriors, they're willing to do that to Klay Thompson if it means another championship. I don't know, guys. I really don't know what's going to happen to James Harden. But at this point, I would not be surprised if he doesn't get traded until the deadline. Alright, I still think he will get traded this season, but right now it's making it harder and harder to do it at the start of the season. I'm thinking it's more likely that it's going to be the Rockets are going to wait for a desperate team. They get halfway through the season, and every year there's a couple of these teams. They come in as like playoff or championship hopefuls, and then halfway through the season they realize they're just not that good, they need a change, and then they trade for James Harden. I think that's what the Rockets are going to bet on at this point because I can't imagine the offers they're getting right now are very good. And I think the Warriors would make a lot of sense for that because at this rate they might end up not being on pace for the playoffs by the trade deadline because the West is so tough, and as good as Steph Curry is, the team around him kind of sucks. Alright, especially if Draymond Green doesn't come back 100%. That's purely hypothetical though. Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen with James Harden at this point. Maybe he doesn't get traded this season at all, and the Rockets are just a disaster. Like, if he doesn't get traded, I still don't think they make the playoffs just because their chemistry is going to be absolute garbage if he ever does play any games. Maybe he just sits out the whole season like AD in 2019. He just continues this tantrum as long as possible. Seems like he's not in a hurry to stop, so I really don't know, guys. I really have no idea. But, hey, the rest of the season's going to be great if you're not a Rockets fan. Alright, if you're a Rockets fan, I just pity you. I'm sorry. Your team's not looking good right now. I feel really bad for you. But for everyone else, season's looking bright. All right. When I'm recording this, the Sixers are getting ready to play their first game in a few hours. I'm super excited. I am super excited for this NBA season, and I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see where Harden goes. Let me know in the comments what you think's going to happen to him. All right. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep checking out content on my channel, and have a great day.